All right, hello there, thrill seekers. Guten Tag to you. I'm still here on the outskirts of Bonn, Germany, talking to you with my mouth, and I want to get all the administrative stuff out of the way first. So here are my tour dates in Europe. Some of these have passed already, but for the ones that haven't passed already, here is a URL you can go to, which is hardcorezen.info/events. If you go there, you will find clickable links to all of the events, including the ones that haven't passed already, and some of those you can still get in to see. So if you want to click on those links and find out more information, you can go and do that. So maybe we'll see you there. And as I keep on saying, I'm getting paid for most of the events I'm doing in Europe, but not all of them. But it's certainly not going to be enough to make a living on. So I really do appreciate your continued support. So if you want to support me, you can go to this other URL that you're seeing on the screen below, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. There you'll find my PayPal and Patreon links. Those are my main ways of making a living, and I really appreciate your support. But as always, this is offered for free, so you don't got to support me if you don't want to support me. Okay. So what I want to show you now is another clip from back in August 31st, and this is at Bar O in Turku, Finland, and I'm talking to my friend Essi. And the question is about gateway experiences, those funny experiences sometimes people have that give them some kind of insight into the nature of reality. And somebody asked a question about that, and I answered that question live in front of an audience, and I thought you folks at home might appreciate that answer. And so here is a clip of me talking about gateway experiences. Here we go. Take it away, me from back in August talking about that stuff.
I was sure that we don't think that it can be like a gateway.
A gateway?
Yeah, or a door. Like which once open, somehow what is there.
Yeah.
So once you get read there once, you don't try to get there back.
Yeah.
But you know that. So it's kind of some door is open.
It's like some door is open.
Yes,
yeah.
And it's a long time definitely.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit like you know that there is a place, so it would be easy to go there again and more.
Yeah, once you know that door can open, yes, it would make it. I don't know if it makes it easier, but maybe it makes it more likely. But if I wanted to extend the metaphor of the door, it's almost like that door opens and then it closes, and that door is never going to open again. But you know there's a door. You know yeah. But now you know there's a door. Now you know that having an opening is possible, and so yeah, you might be able to. What I find I do is, now that those doors have opened a couple of times for me, I know that there's something else going on. So it's no longer a matter of speculation for me. One of the first things let me try to tell a story. When I first started studying Zen, I would listen to my teachers, and they would say things that I could agree with and understand very easily. Often the things about ethics were easy to understand. If you treat people kindly, they'll treat you kindly, you'll have a better life, that kind of thing. And then they would also say some really strange things. One of the strange things that my first Zen teacher said to me one time was, "It's more you than you could ever be." It's more you than you could. And I heard this from him. I don't even remember what the context was, but it stuck in my mind, that phrase. It's more you than you could ever be. Because I don't know what that means. And then another strange phrase from my second teacher in Japan was, "My personality extends throughout the universe." What do you mean your personality extends throughout the universe? I'm sitting here listening to this little old man say his personality extends throughout the universe. but it stuck in my mind too, those two phrases. And there's a moment that I've talked about probably too often in my books and things, where something happened, and it was kind of like one of those doors opening, and this was a particularly wide door. This time it just opened and then closed. But for a moment I was like, I know what that means. It's more you than you could ever be. My personality extends throughout the universe. I know what they mean. I understood exactly what they meant by that. But then I come back from that experience, and all I can tell you is it's more you than you could ever be, and my personality extends throughout the universe. I don't know if I can say it any better than that. I've been trying to find my own version. I'm writing all these books, and I keep hoping that my version of that will come out, and maybe somebody will read it, and then it'll help them. And maybe it already has, I don't know. But I think that made sense. And I realized all these crazy things these teachers have been saying, they're all true. And that made me happy for a little while. Oh, that's great, it's all true. But then those experiences, like any experience that you have that happens within time and space, it recedes, it goes further and further back. It's yesterday, then it's the day before yesterday, then it's last week, then it's last month, and it's 2 years ago, whatever. It becomes something that happened in the past. And then the brain, my brain, does the same thing anybody's brain does for a special experience. It goes, oh, that was great, that was wonderful back then, that experience. Oh boy, I want to get that experience again. But I'm not going to get that experience again. I mean, I might get another door will open, I assume, I hope, Other doors have opened. But the experience at that moment, to continue this conversation, at least every time it's happened for me, has always been like that. The door opens, then it closes, then you can never find that door again. Here's a weird thing. I can tell this story because now it's on YouTube. There was a TV show I saw when I know when I saw it because now I know what year it was released. I was 5 years old, I think. So very young. And for reasons I don't know, my parents sat me down and we watched this weird TV show called The Cube. Now there's a movie out now called The Cube, which is a horror movie, and this is not that movie. But if you search on YouTube, you can find The Cube that I'm talking about. It came out around 1970 or something like that. And it was a weird story about a man who lives in this cube, like a room, a white room. And every so often, out of the plain white wall, a door opens. And somebody peeks in and says hello to him and talks to him and does something, and then the person might come in, and then that person will leave, and he'll try to follow him out the door, and the guy who came in will say, "No, that's my door," and shut the door, and then he can't find the door anymore. That's what it's like. I can't. Yeah, those doors, they disappear, and I can't find them again. But now you can find that show on YouTube. So. And I watched it again, and I thought, this is really weird. If I had a child who was 5 years old, I don't think I would. I don't think I would have them watch this. Well, I don't know. Maybe my parents were weird. It was sort of a comedy. That's the other thing I didn't realize. So maybe that's why we watched it. It was funny, but it had this kind of weird existential sort of, philosophy behind it.
But in the book, I remember you used the metaphor of door, but maybe for a bit different
Did I?
point of view, like the door or the gateway between the inner world and the outer world.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a flat door image, maybe.
Yeah, well, that came from, I don't know. The quote is actually in the book because I remember putting it in, but I can't remember how it goes. But it was from Shunryu Suzuki. It's very hard. to pronounce Japanese. I lived in Japan for 11 years, and I should be able to pronounce Japanese names, but it's hard to say that one. Shunryu Suzuki. So Shunryu Suzuki was a teacher of the San Francisco Zen Center. He was a Japanese Zen teacher. And he said, I is like a swinging door. So when you're sitting Zazen, you're breathing. And he compared it to like breathing in and out. And it's like this swinging door that swings back and forth as you breathe in and out. And it's the door between the inner world and the outer world. Yeah. So this is a slightly different idea of a door.
Different door. It's always there.
Different door.